Hello, Adam Ryan Donato.
Hello, hello. Today, on our this is the second hard review podcast that I've ever done. Wow, this is great. And my guest, Adam too.
Adam too. Yeah, that's actually, you know what? That's what my family calls me now. That's what, sometimes I'm swiping on Tinder and they DM me like, "Are you Adam too?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me."
See, that was the problem for me when I used to be on Tinder. They would swipe right on me and they'd be like, "Are you Adam too?" And I'm like, "No, I'm Adam one." And they're
I
like,
mean,
"Well,
yeah,
sorry."
but I get the frustration because everyone gets mixed up. It's fine.
All right, I'm gonna try to guess your middle name. I did this last week with Devin. I was like, um, shoot, I actually had a really good Jacob. It's Jacob.
That's very weird because it is Jacob.
Okay, I swear I didn't already know this.
No, I feel like I have told you this before.
No, I feel like if anything, I might subconsciously know it because
Right.
we work together. So
Yeah.
Adam J. Sidorius.
Yeah. Yes. So I think you had access to my you have access to my shit. So you have the. I'm not saying you snooped and then made it a bit, but what I am saying is you've seen it and then subconsciously planted it in yourself, and now you made yourself think that it's going to be a guess when you actually just straight up know.
Well, you just remind me a lot of Taylor Lautner in Twilight, so that's why I kind of put that together. But yeah, so today we're talking about the genesis of what is
Terminator.
and what still is and will forever be not only one of the longest running franchises, but the most badass. It's about family, everybody. Of course, we're talking about the Fast and Furious today.
The original. I own this movie. I have the newer version of it or whatever, the 4K, and on the cover.
That's pretty cool, actually. How'd you get that?
I bought it.
I mean, yeah, where?
No, I have it digitally. I just bought it on iTunes. It was on sale
Okay.
like 2 years ago, I think. And but on the cover it says Fast and Furious, and under that it says the original. And so it has to clarify because if you look at the titles for these movies, they're all so stupid. They
Oh yeah.
they endlessly get dumber each movie. So
And no, that's part of the bit. No, I asked because like you know me, I collect DVDs, so like I see the whole 4K trend happening, and they are beautiful. I just don't have a 4K TV, you know.
yeah, so if you have if you buy a 4K movie and you don't have a 4K TV, it's completely pointless. Like it's just like spending money for no reason because it does not not compatible with the TV. So I bought a 4K TV back in November, and
Black Friday.
yes, actually I did.
How much?
Actually, not Black Friday, but Cyber Monday. Oh
If you
god,
don't mind me asking.
it was only 250, I think, maybe 300.
How many inches?
55.
That's pretty nice. Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like trying to set up a home theater or anything, but I'm like, it was honestly because Mandalorian, your favorite show, WandaVision, your second.
They don't know yet. I haven't told them yet.
But I knew all these shows were coming out, and I knew they were all in 4K, so I was like, okay, all of them.
Huh, interesting. Oh wait, well, it's interesting you brought up how you own it because I don't know if I've ever shown you. I don't have it in here. I wish I would have brought it in here. I have the Ultimate Ride collection, which is on. No, I think I did show you once. Didn't you come over one day?
I don't think so. No.
No, I just show it to everybody. That's why I'm like, I probably at some point.
I am a little offended that this is the first time I'm hearing about this, so I would love to.
I thought you knew. You sent me a tweet about it.
Oh, that's the one that. Did you just buy it?
No, I got it for my birthday. It was only like $25, and they're all on DVD. It's the Ultimate Ride collection, and it's 1 through 7. That's all the Paul Walker ones. That's why I was like, that's fine.
It's the Paul Walkers. The same way there's the Skywalker saga. It's the Paul Walker saga.
Oh yeah. What's it called? Speaking of Paul Walker, I remember. Did you ever watch Brick Mansions?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know, right?
I want to clarify. Paul Walker, I love the dude. He was a great B movie actor, and he knew that, and he owned that. But
we'll get into Paul Walker.
But Brick Mansions is awful. That being said,
it was one of those like it was never going to be released in theaters until Paul Walker sadly passed away, and then It wasn't SZA in that. Like some rapper was in that.
I have tried to repress that memory, so I have no idea.
I couldn't even tell you what it's about. All right, so yes, but in my collection it does say the Fast and Furious the original, and I say that I emphasize the because the fourth one's just called Fast and Furious.
That's why I brought it up. Yeah, because I was when I was saying that the titles get dumber, they're all pretty dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the dumbest one. Because you you just remove the. I hate that trend. You remove the for like a reboot or a sequel like 20 years
It's
later.
cleaner.
Yeah,
See,
nice.
they're not trying to make $1 million. They're trying to make $1 billion. Okay. So before I ask you this question, just so that I establish what my knowledge is on the French, I'm sure I've already told you, but just to refresh, my history with the Fast and Furious saga is I got into movies around 2012. So that's about a year after Fast 5 happened.
He saw his first movie in 2012. Yes.
So I saw Fast 5 at home. And that was pretty good. I just remember all I remember is that like there's no way that Vin Diesel beat up The Rock.
Yeah, I remember sitting in the theater for Fast 5, and everyone at that moment was kind of like, "Really?
I think there's a tank in the road or something. I don't know. We'll rewatch them.
That's Fast 6, but it's like when
that was the one with the plane. I thought.
Yeah, that's Fast 6.
There's not a tank in the middle of the road on like the edge of a cliff in Fast 5.
This is all Fast 6.
Okay, well that was the first one I saw in theaters. I remember that came out. I actually remember the exact date that came out. That was the 24th of May in 2013, because that was the first year I started like religiously watching movies. It came out the same day as Epic. Remember Epic?
Unfortunately, yes, I do.
I hated it. And then The Hangover Part 3.
Also, unfortunately, I do remember. I remember I saw Fast 6 at a very early screening, like I think the first week of May, I saw it. And I was so excited. I mean, you know me. I was so excited.
You know me.
So that weekend, I didn't have to go see Fast 6. So I went to go see Hangover 3. And like all here in Orlando at AMC Altamont, all like 10 theaters were playing Fast 6. And just one little tiny theater was playing The Hangover 3. It was so
I like The Hangover 3, but that's neither here nor there. So what you say, obviously back then you were big. I feel like, because like don't get me wrong, I get the impression that you're part of the meme fan culture of Fast and Furious. Like
sure, yeah.
Yeah, like you like it because it's
I actually have one thing to show you, to show everyone. Okay. So you say you think I'm part of the meme culture for Fast and Furious? No, I just want to hear. That's what.
Yeah, like you think it's funny. Like you don't actually think they're great. Oh God, why is he wearing a tank top?
I think that's him at the premiere for the first Fast and Furious movie, and my friend for my birthday last year bought me a pillow with his.
Is he wearing gloves or his hands just that white?
His hands are just that white.
I wouldn't be surprised if he spray tanned the whole everywhere but his hands. No, but so I saw Fast 6. No, keep in mind I like Fast 5, I like Fast 6, and I don't like action movies. Right. Furious 7 is legitimately a good movie, but I'm just a James Wan fan.
Furious 7 is amazing.
Yeah, Fate of the Furious is it's good. It's cheesy. It's definitely the dumbest out of those 4 movies, but like it's fun. Right. And it's just Civil War, but with Fast and Furious.
Yes, literally, like some characters are missing, but the characters that are there are angry at each other for some reason.
Yeah, and then I watched Hobbs and Shaw, which is the pinnacle. No, I'm kidding.
The best movie of all time. Yeah.
So I bought the collection because I've never seen the first 4 because I heard that they're racing movies, they're car movies, and I'm not a car guy. And I'm not an action, and I'm barely an action guy. I'm not an action guy, but I like the new ones because they're ridiculous. Like it's almost like a superhero movie, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yes. So like the first, I want to say the first 3, but I almost want to say the first 4 are like racing movies. Like you haven't seen the 4th one, right?
Yeah. So I have not seen 1 through 4. Well, I saw 1 today, obviously.
Yes. Okay, so 4 I think is like kind of like the middle. It's like somewhere between 3 and 5, where it's half race movie, half heist movie.
Uh-huh.
But the first one is definitely a racing movie with a few heists here and there, which I really appreciate. I think 3 is probably the definitive race movie of all of them.
That's Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift, yes. A masterpiece, by the way. And so, yeah, I'm very passionate about this franchise, if you guys couldn't tell.
Oh, yeah, so go ahead. Tell me your experience with the franchise. It's important.
Oh, man, where do I even begin? And
My
that's
my resident Fast and Furious fan.
yeah, he only had one guy he could call for the job. Yeah, so Fast and Furious is a movie that I think for the first time I saw it when I was like 7 years old. I distinctly remember. Do you guys remember Hollywood Video? Like not
Yes.
Blockbuster, but Hollywood Video. I went to Hollywood Video because we got banned from Blockbuster because I refused to return a copy of Max Keeble's Big Move. So we had to go to Hollywood Video. And at Hollywood Video, the first time I went there when I was like 6 or 7, the first movie I ever rented was The Fast and the Furious. And I did it for no other reason than Vin Diesel looked kind of cool. And little did I know that night would change my life, because 7-year-old Adam sat on his living room floor watching
art.
Yeah, art, honestly.
Cinema.
Like when Scorsese talked about the trip to the cinema when he was a little boy. That story, but me watching Fast and Furious as a kid.
Of course.
And the thing is, it's not even, I mean, it's half a joke. Obviously, I'm emphasizing it like a joke, but it was formative for me, like genuinely. All jokes.
It's your cats, it seems.
No, no.
No, yeah, Cats is actually good,
It is good. Wait, no. I meant Fast and Furious is actually good. I genuinely love this movie. And then I found out, I was like, there's a Too Fast, Too Furious, and then I rented that one, and that was around the time Tokyo Drift was coming out, and I got my cousin to go take me to see Tokyo Drift in theaters when I was like 9, I think, and I remember it was so sold out that there was a fire hazard. We sat on the auditorium steps. Yeah, we sat on the steps for it.
Real fans.
Yes, real Toretto heads. And honestly, since Tokyo Drift, I have seen every Fast and Furious movie either early or opening night since then. Yeah, so I'm a big fan. I'm a huge fan.
Okay, all right, that's great. All right, so let's get into the meat and potatoes. 13 minutes in. So, you go first. You go first about the first movie. You've seen it before. So how was this time watching? How many times have you seen it?
Oh, too many to count, honestly. Like I watch it at least once before every new one that's coming out, and I'll probably watch it again this year before Fast 9 comes out.
You think Fast 9's coming out this year? That's cute.
I think it will, actually. They're pushing it kind of hard right now, and that's beside the point. I've been told I need to go to therapy just for that thought. But anyways, so yeah, Fast and Furious. I've seen this movie a billion times. It's one of those movies that I literally like know every line to it. Like and even the more problematic lines, I know the lines too. Like the entire part at the beginning where Vince is about to beat up Paul Walker, just for absolutely no reason except that he's enjoying a tuna sandwich and maybe flirting with the girl that he likes. Yeah, this movie has aged terribly, but it's still a masterpiece. Like it's all perfect. It's complete campy schlock, and I love it. Did you watch the Roger Ebert thing I sent you?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I think I mean, Ebert said it perfectly. Like, if we cannot enjoy B movies, then what is the point of what we do?
Like great B movies, and that's fair.
This is a perfect. I think he described it as a perfect drive-in movie, and I wholeheartedly agree. I think all of these movies are perfect drive-in movies, perfect movies to just see with a giant crowd, just to get your blood pumping. And yeah, I love this one with all my heart. I love the characters, the style, the soundtrack, the action. It's so goddamn dramatic, but I get invested every time I watch it, no matter how I know how it ends. Obviously, I've seen it so many times, but I'm like, Brian, don't do that. Dom, you're gonna get the train, like,
You're gonna get the train.
But I still get invested every time I watch it. I feel like a little kid every time I put it on.
Where do you rank it with the series?
Hold on, let me pull up Letterboxd.
I have an official ranking actually.
Yeah, let's see. Let me pull it up.
Actually, yeah, I would expect you because there's 9 right now, so
It would be weird if I didn't have a ranking. If we're
yeah, it would be now that I think about it. But no, good. Yeah, because that was definitely one of the first questions I was going to ask.
yeah, I think it's like my number 5 question mark. I think
Bottom half.
bottom half. No, I think because spoilers in case we ever do future episodes, but Fast 5 is my favorite. Fast 5 I think is like the pinnacle of like Fast and Furious canon lore. But I think this is like slightly above Fate of the Furious for me, just because it's the classic, it's the OG. But it doesn't quite meet the heights of like 5, 6, or 7, or even honestly Hobbs and Shaw. But it's still great.
Okay, so here we go. I'm ready because I didn't even put my Letterboxd in today because I wanted you to hear it from me first.
I was curious. I'm like, I hope he's holding out just for me because I checked.
I didn't even actually because I watched right afterwards. Actually, I put in Pitch Perfect, not Pitch Perfect, Pitch Black.
I was like, hey, that does not look like Anna Kendrick. Good movie, by the way. I like Pitch Black.
Well, I didn't watch it. I put it on for like 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, I probably need to actually pay attention to this because I was editing.
It's a good movie.
So I just threw on Iron Giant. You ever seen that?
Never even heard of it.
Oh, I don't know if you've heard. I have this like amazing pitch for like a sequel and another sequel. It's great.
I don't think it would win the bracket, though. I don't think it would win the episode if that's.
I mean, fair. No, but well, because I wanted to do a Vin Diesel day, you know.
I mean, that sounds like a perfect day to me. Yeah,
that's every day, honestly.
Yeah.
Every day. I wake up listening to "Feel Like I Do."
Okay, unironically, a fucking banger. A banger. That song's great.
I ironically like it. I can't. I like bad music, and I can't get into it.
That's weird because I get into it every day.
It's so auto-tuned that it doesn't even sound like him. So I'm like, all right, so if you're not Vin Diesel, then what do I care, you know?
Just imagine Groot singing it, and then it'll be better.
All right, so like I said, I like I like Fast 5 a lot. I would probably say that Furious 7's my favorite as of right now. Before watching this movie. They're all good. None of them are bad. Like they're schlock, but like it's fun. It's so much fun to just watch the crazy shit that happens. I was not excited to going into this, like I said, because I was like, oh, it's a racing movie. It's really old. It's 2001. But like it's definitely a different tone. So I didn't expect to like it. So super low expectations going in.
Right.
And just a shout out. Actually, I'll save that shout out. Because I really liked it.
It's really fucking good, right?
It's just enjoyable. Like okay, is it bad? Sure. Like if someone's making an argument why it's like shitty, yeah, fine. And maybe it's because I went in with super low expectations, but like I don't know, like if you're just there to watch a fun movie with, you know, like a bunch of action, cool cars, just like I knew what I was getting myself into, so I really enjoyed it.
Do you know that meme? It was like Star Wars fans when you say their franchise is stupid, and it's like the dude raging, and it says Fast and Furious fans when you tell them their franchise is stupid. It's just the guy saying, "I know."
Like, I know, right? Like that is kind of the appeal. Like, it's interesting because I didn't know that David Ayer wrote for the movie.
I did not know that until you just said that.
Well, that's just because I'm a real fan of the franchise.
Yeah, right. I need to bump up my game. Clearly, I need to bump up my game.
Well, I just had very big. I looked it up because I had very big Training Day vibes.
Yes. Yeah. That's well, it's Training Day, Point Break.
Yes, I've never seen Point Break, but yes, obviously, I get that vibe.
It's very blatantly like beat for beat, betrayal for betrayal, Point Break. Like it's completely Point Break.
Oh yeah, like I said, I haven't seen Point Break, but yeah, I get the whole like.
Since you saw this, so you've technically seen it. Yeah, this one it's very very reliant on tropes and familiarity that you've seen before, but I think what makes it work is the cast. Everyone I think is doing their darndest to schlock it up, and I love that. Especially one Vincent Diesel. He's a schlock king. I love that man. He just owns every scene he's in. He's so intimidating, and you just don't want to fuck with him. But you also feel like the vulnerability of Dominic Toretto. Like I don't like there is okay. Honestly, he could play Lincoln, but Daniel Day-Lewis could not play Dominic Toretto.
I would love to see him play Lincoln. Well, I kind of get that. Like, he's kind of like Tom Cruise to me, in that like he's just the same dude in every movie, but his definitive like role is this, obviously.
Right.
And I know, and for obviously for what it is, he does great. I was actually disappointed because there's that one scene where they're in the garage and he's opening up to Paul Walker about his dad, and like maybe it was an artistic choice, but like I feel like your most heartfelt scene in the movie, you kind of want to get in there. And like it was just kind of like a dark shot from the side, and you don't even really see his face because it's a shadow. And like I'm like, this is time to shine. And then on the other hand, I'm like, okay, maybe he doesn't need a time to shine. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, because he's a good actor for what he does.
Honestly, like his send off to Paul in Seven is genuine. I mean, I know half of that is just because it's real life, and it's genuinely just sad because it's true. But like, there's moments in that scene and then the Seven where you're like, Vin Diesel's like amazing. Like he's really good, and he just puts his all into all of his characters, which I appreciate. And you brought up Pitch Black, which is another. I think that series is like very underrated, but he gets very into the character of Riddick. Like he's a genuinely talented actor. I love Vin Diesel.
No, I think he's great. I definitely just kind of see Vin Diesel when he's there, but that's fine because it's kind of like Will Smith. It's like, oh, it's Will Smith, but that's great.
Really, because when I see Will Smith, I just think of Gemini Man.
I watched that in the theater alone.
So did I, actually. I remember I went to go see it, and I had I was having a bad day, and I'm like, just cheer me up, Ang Lee. Cheer me up.
I was too. Yeah, no, right? Because Ang Lee's a good director, right?
Great director. Okay,
Life of Pi?
Life of Pi is amazing. Brokeback Mountain is one of the best movies of all time.
I like Hulk.
I did when I was 6. I haven't seen it since, so I don't know.
Fair.
I am curious to rewatch it though. And then I saw Gemini Man, and I'm like, this isn't bad. It's kind of.
Oh, you like it? Oh no, it's terrible.
No,
God awful.
It's I think it's I think the script is terrible, and the direction is great, and it's like it's one of those movies. Like I don't know what to feel about it, because like it's like really the direction is so good, but the script, and I'm not saying it's bad, it's awful. Like the script is abysmal. Like it should never have left like the blacklist, is that what it's called? Like never should have been produced, but it was, and we got it. And one of the best directors of all time for some reason directed it, and it's there. And
it seemed like one of those Robert Zemeckis, like he wanted to make something technically cool with technology.
Well, he was. Did you know it was? I think it was supposed to be Tommy Lee Jones or something originally, like in the '90s. That was.
Oh, yep, I heard about this. Yep.
Yeah. And honestly, I hope Fast 11 ends with Dom going back to kick his past self's ass, like, and he steals a car from himself or something.
All right, so see, I've only seen 5 through Hobbs and Shaw once each. So when we rewatch those, it's gonna be brand new to me, basically, because like I said, I can only name like one thing that happened in each movie. But yeah, no, going back to the Fast and the Furious, yeah, I think he does a great job. Well, we'll get into it, but just to expand generally, like, it's fun. The plot, I actually really like the plot. Like, the plot worked. Like, it was well executed. I bought everything that happened. Like, I mean, like, obviously not like with the heist at the end. I know that that's ridiculous and crazy and that can never happen. But like with the whole entire plot, I was like, oh, I believe that they have some kind of friendship forming here. I believe that he likes this girl. I can't stand Jordana Brewster as an actress.
It's one of those things where I can't really dislike her because I associate her so heavily with these movies. Mm-hmm. I admit she's not a great actress, but like, you got to realize, like, she was my crush when I was a kid. Like,
No, she's beautiful. She's gorgeous, actually.
well, that's the same thing when like people tell me that like what's her name is bad in the Spider-Man movies, and I'm like,
Zendaya.
no, the old ones.
Oh, red hair.
She's
Mary Elizabeth. No, no.
that's WandaVision. No, okay, so whatever her name is, and she's amazing in outside of those.
Kirsten Dunst.
Yes, and the thing is that's weird about that is like she's great outside of those movies. Like if you've seen Melancholia, an amazing movie, one of the best performances of all time she gives. But Jordana Brewster has never been good at a movie. But I can't feel anything but love for her because she was very formative for me at a young age. So
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, because my memory of her in the franchise is she just kind of there.
Because I remember in the 11th, the fifth one, she's pregnant half the movie, so that gives them an excuse to say, okay, she's gonna sit behind the computer the entire movie. And then the sixth one, she just gets kidnapped, and the seventh one, she's at the hospital.
This is all new to me. This is all. I don't remember any, because you got to remember, like Furious 7, even that was 5-6 years ago now. That was the last time I saw it.
Right. Well, I mean, because I saw the trailers for 9, and she's behind the wheel in that one, so maybe she'll be given something to do.
No, I'm kidding. No,
no.
I'm interested to see where they go with. Actually, I was so confused. I guess we're just on Jordana Brewster now. But I was so confused what her deal was, because she works at the store, the coffee shop. Why? Why do they have a coffee shop? Like they clearly don't do. It's a front, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a front for because even Paul Walker, Brian, he confronts Dom about it when he wants to get on into the whole scene. So yeah, I'm guessing like it's just their way of hiding how they actually make money and stuff.
Yeah, and then what's it called? So I thought she was the other guy's brother, the guy who hated Paul Walker. I don't know anyone's name.
That would be Vince. I don't. No, that would be extremely creepy because he definitely has a thing for her.
That's what I'm saying, because he's like, hey, she's like, hey, remember that restaurant you wanted to take me to? And I'm like, I mean, my sister's cool, but I would never get that excited about taking her to lunch.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's another thing. Like, I don't, because like that goes to the whole Fast 9 thing. Because like apparently John Cena is supposed to be Vin Diesel's brother, and it's like. No, like he's not. He's not.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I knew that, but I totally forgot. And he doesn't even look close, which that's fine.
The thing is, neither does Jordana Brewster. But now that John Cena's cast as the other brother, it's like, well, now in retrospect, Jordana's perfect casting in comparison to John Cena, because like I don't buy that at all.
No, she's. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say anything about her besides like. Because she's just so boring. Like she's so very little emotion, and she's just kind of there. And like even when she's integral to the plot, when he's like, "You need to tell. I'm a cop. You need to tell me where Dom." Spoilers. I'm sorry if you haven't seen 2001's The Fast and the Furious, and you're 28 minutes into this. But yeah, he's like, "I'm a cop," and she's like, "I guess I'll tell you where they are."
Yeah. She's very reluctant, and I don't know. I think she's a very good. She's like Paul Walker to me. Like okay, Paul Walker is better than her, but like I think it's the same ballpark where it's like she's good at just delivering the dialogue that you need. She's good. I know the bar is so low for me, but hear me out. They're all cannon fodder to the cars and to the missions and to the stunts, and it doesn't really matter. That's the entire thing. Like
that's fair.
But at the same time, it doesn't matter, but it also does. Like, you know what I mean? Like because like all these things are in motion. Like all these plot lines. I don't think the mechanics of the plot make sense or are necessary. But what is necessary is that you buy the relationships between everybody, and I do.
And I really do. So like I said, I love Vin Diesel. He's kind of that like Denzel in Training Day kind of role, and he kills it. I mean, obviously he's not as good as Denzel, like not even close. But because like that's like an actual movie. I like how I say I like it, and I'm just like, no, but I know he likes it though, so I'm just gonna poke at it. But yeah, we were talking about like as that like anti-hero Vin Diesel is, because you like him. He's so likable, but you know that he's the bad guy. They even say it. They're like, dude, this other guy, oh, I don't remember the Asian dude's name.
Neither do I, because the thing is, he is so. When I say like stuff that doesn't matter in these movies, he's like prime example of like guy that doesn't matter. Like he
Well, I
means
thought he
nothing.
was Han. Like from the start, I was like, all right, Han's in this gang, right? Like,
Right. Yeah. No, Han comes in a Tokyo Drift, so he's not in the franchise until then.
okay.
But yeah, no, this guy, he to me, he's just a just like in the second movie, which I know you haven't seen, but there's a bad guy in that movie that no one knows the name of, but he's there, and that's how I feel about this guy. He serves his purpose. He's a threat when he needs to be a threat, uh, and that's it. That's all he is.
Oh
It's
yeah,
fine.
he is very much so the what's his name from Civil War? Shoot, the guy from Inglorious Bastards and
Emo.
Rush. Yeah, Zemo. He's very much so the Zemo, and it's like it's actually the antagonist is Toretto, because that's where they like physically it's the leader of the Asian group, but it's actually Toretto. That's where he has the conflict with.
I just want to say, whoever made the stylistic directorial choice to intercut the SWAT raid scene with an intense sex scene with Michelle Rodriguez and Vin Diesel, I bravo to you. Just great job all around. You deserve a raise.
No, and that
Uh,
follows my thing of I want a good, sex scene in every single movie.
Paid off for you, didn't it?
No, now because now I buy them. How am I supposed to know that they are a couple if I don't see them fornicate?
Well, that's the thing. I think in this franchise, you completely buy you. I mean, I've already said you buy all the relationships, but especially that between Letty and Dom, I feel the passion. Like I feel like
Hmm.
they would die for each other.
Like they've been together for a while too. Like you see him flirting with, or just talking honestly with the girls at the race, and she's like, "You gonna hang out with those sluts?"
Or even Jordana Brewster tells Paul Walker's character, it's like they've been hanging around since they were kids. They've been together since they were 16.
Yeah,
Like,
16. Like I wonder why, and it's like, all right.
yeah,
I mean, like, did they hit puberty at 16?
I think it's well. The thing is, like, I mean, I know you have seen the other movies, but you haven't, or the 5 through whatever, but you haven't seen them in a while. The relationship only grows from this point. Like, it only gets better, and I fully, I don't know. Like, I genuinely think it's one of the better relationships in cinema. Like, genuinely, like
Iconic wise, sure. Okay, here's what I know. Don't tell me.
or I should say in a franchise. To clarify, in a franchise.
That's fair because that's iconic. They are iconic, like an iconic couple. I know them. Here's what I know that happens. I know that she. Spoilers for the franchise. What's it called? So I know that she becomes a bad guy because she has amnesia, and he like is like, "Hey, stop doing that." And then she's now a good guy, and then they love each other. And I think they have kids in this new one.
I mean, do you want me to tell you if you were
No.
right? Okay, okay.
I just want it on record. That's all I know. But like, I don't like the whole amnesia thing. I think that's kind of like in James Franco in Spider-Man 3. It's like, oh, I just bump a dead.
Yeah, if I can plug something, I'm going to be on a podcast this weekend talking Spider-Man 3, and I was watching it right before we started recording this. So yes, I know exactly what you're talking about, Adam.
You better defend the shit out of that movie.
Spoilers for that pod, and I know we're talking about Fast and Furious, so I just want to say real quick, Spider-Man 3, I always was like, it's okay, it's not as bad as everyone says, but it's not as great as the Raimi fans say it is either. And then while we were watching it tonight, I'm like, no, this movie's kind of awesome. Like, it's kind of great. Like, I love it. Like, it's really good.
No, it was my favorite. Growing up, it was Spider-Man 3 and Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer for me. There's a lot of things that happened. I don't know. All right, back to Fast and Furious.
Back to that.
Letty, no, I love Letty. Like I watched the bonus materials where they were like, oh yeah, she was just kind of in it before, and then she was just so great that we were just like, we need to do more with her. And I'm like, she's one of the most. She has so much personality. I buy her as a part of the group. I buy her as an action star. I don't want to say she's up there with like Charlize Theron and Mad Max, but like as an a franchise action heroine, love her.
And the cool thing is, and I guess that goes to the cool thing about the whole franchise, like she's been doing it for like 20 years now. Like by the time Fast 9 comes out, I mean this year, 20 years ago, that Fast and the Furious came out. This is a 20-year-old movie.
Mhm.
Like that's insane to me that this movie is that old.
Oh
And
wow! I just realized I might, because I do the reviews for the other website, and he lets me do anniversary reviews. So if it's 20 years,
yeah,
I can totally. What month did it come out in?
May or June. I know it's one of the two. I can't remember which.
Yeah, it's got to be a big summer movie. I imagine. I would be surprised if it's anything else. I know the newer one started coming out in March or
Yeah,
April.
well, because I remember the first time it came out in April was Fast Five, and I actually told this story um, on Zillennial Canon this week because we were talking Hoodwink, 20 of your favorite movies. And when I went to go see Fast Five in theaters, they started playing the first 5 minutes of Hoodwink 2, Hood versus Evil, when I was expecting to see Dominic Toretto and his Dodge Charger. Like I was ready for all that.
You want to see a movie about family? Now, Hoodwink 2 is one. June 22nd, by the way.
Yeah, I wanted to say May, but I was like, it might be June. I think that's the only one that came out in June. I could be wrong.
I wouldn't know, but no, it's fuck. We were talking about Michelle Rodriguez. Yeah, no,
Great.
she's done it for so long, and she's so great. She gives me the vibes of remember Aliens. Um, remember
Yeah,
the girl that's a part of the group? She's short hair, tiny woman. She's got the bandana around her. The whole
yeah.
has anyone ever mistaken you for a girl? And she goes, I don't know. Has any of you, or a man?
Michelle Rodriguez basically plays that character in Avatar. Uh,
Yes.
yeah. Michelle Rodriguez is like great at playing that character. She
Yes.
that's not dismissive at all. That's great. Like that's awesome. I love her. She kicks ass, and she has been kicking ass for like 30 years now, and that's nothing to stop at. Like it's great. But yeah, but it's like the same thing you're talking about Vin Diesel. Like she kicks ass in all the movies she's in, but this is what she'll be remembered for, and that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, she's great. I think she's fantastic. Yeah, I love her. I think I love how she just like she wins her race. Like the dude straight up being like super like pervy with her, and she's just like, I'm gonna take your money and your car.
I will say this: maybe one of the most ill-advised titles in all of cinema history is that of Race Wars in this movie. I
Let's talk about that. No, honestly, because I have a lot to say about that. So, I heard that and I was like, I know it's a racing movie, and that's fair,
yeah.
that they call it that. But I'm like, oh, everyone seems to be in like these like gangs separated by race. So I thought it was legitimately about race. And
Right.
also they just talk about race throughout. So I was like, oh, so
And
this is gonna have it's gonna be Green Book.
they bring back Race Wars in Furious 7. I know you don't remember that, but
I
they
could have.
they bring back, well, because like there's a pivotal scene in the beginning where he's trying to refresh Letty's memory because of the amnesia, and he takes her to Race Wars to like make her remember the events of the first movie. And it's and when he says it out loud in like 2015, I'm just like, oh Jesus Christ, we're not doing this. Like I'm like, let's just let it die. Like let's not do this. It was ill-advised then, and it's ill-advised now.
Well, no, the race wars are like it's cool. The thing is
No,
cool. It's just like it's just weird because like at the beginning there seems to be a Hispanic group. There's an Asian group. They make fun of Paul Walker for being like a white dude. There's like even the first race, like every single person's like from a different race, and they're talking about race,
right.
and that's called the race wars. So yes, I'm watching that thinking, oh, so this is a race thing.
Also, somewhat of a tangent. Not really. It's
Mhm.
you know the guy who plays Hector in this movie.
Yes, I looked him up because I remember him from things.
Like 80% of his filmography, he also plays a character named Hector.
Yes,
And,
yes, he does. He's in
and
Training Day.
I love that bit. It's so good. Like I just love I like the idea that like all these movies take place in the Hector cinematic universe, and that he's like the Nick Fury of it all. Like
And he does seem to play the well, I don't know. I've only seen this in Training Day, which is like the same movie, and he's just like a dude. I don't know. Like he's the same kind of stereotype in both,
He
but
also returns in Race Wars in 7. So
good. Thank God.
I hope Fast 11 because that's confirmed to be the finale of the series. I hope Hector returns. He's the Captain Marvel entrance. He's the in-game portal sequence of that movie. It's
Oh
Hector
yeah.
opening up a Corona and saying,
Oh, by the way, Corona, a big thing in this movie.
"Yes, I have a drinking game set up for any time I watch these movies, and I have to buy a case. I have to buy a pack of Coronas every time because you can have any beer you want as long as it's Corona." That's what Vin Diesel says. So yeah.
It's just so weird. I don't like, and I read the trivia about it. They were like, "Oh, it's kind of like with Ford, and you can only have it in black or something." I have no idea.
Have you never had Corona before?
No, I just turned 21 in July, so that was my first alcoholic drink.
I
Uh,
yeah right yeah
and I'm not a
yeah.
beer guy, so like I think we have a singular Corona that's been in our fridge forever.
Well, I'll take
Um,
it. I'll take it. I no. The thing is, I definitely convinced myself to like Corona because of these movies,
oh my God.
which I guess is the entire intention of what do you call it? Marketing or product placement. That's it. Um,
Uh-huh.
in fact, the first beer I drank on my 21st birthday was a Corona Extra, and
Hmm.
I literally said, "Salute me familia." Shot it. I,
See, the only drink that I have that's specific to a movie for me, and I hope you get this reference. So it was the summer of 2013. It was a mid-August, and I went to go watch Kick-Ass 2 in a theater with my mom. And when we got, because it was rated R, so obviously I couldn't get it on my own.
right.
I was 13. So I go up to the booth and like to order, and I'm like, I would like an icy mixed where they mix the red and the blue, and like I kind of said it like how Mark Strong says it in the first movie, because I just love how like, yeah,
Oh yeah,
Mark, that's how you order that, you know?
with the Twizzlers, and the little what? How does he say it? I forgot. Like he's like
Doesn't he say like not red vines?
yeah, not red vines. Yeah, I love that. I just rewatched Kick-Ass recently, and I had the option to rewatch Kick-Ass 2 as well, and I was like,
No,
nah.
it's good. Jim Carrey's good. You'd be surprised how many people disrespect the first Kick-Ass.
It's an amazing. Okay. I rewatched it last year, like kind of at the start of quarantine, and I think it's great. You're not gonna hear any kick-ass slander from me, but just like the Fast and Furious, it doesn't age great. It
Fair, fair,
problematic wise, there's a lot of stuff where I'm like, ooh, yeah, that you really
fair.
said that. Damn. Okay. But I'm gonna go see it in theaters next month. It's playing at the Enzion Theater here in Orlando, so I'm gonna be going to that. Um,
Hmm.
so, but yeah, no, I love that, and I think that's fun. I
No, yeah, I love when you can like play along with movies. Like I hope to be one of the Rocky Horror Picture Show people one day.
I missed because when an AMC at Universal City Walk was still around, they did the Rocky Horror there, and I had a few friends that were in charge of doing that, and I went to that so many times because my friends got me in for free, and it was a blast. It's amazing every time you go.
Yeah,
Um,
no, let me know if you ever do it because I would love to. It seems like like an interactive experience.
I don't know if they're still doing it because now it's Cinemark at City Walk, so it's a different management, different everything.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So all that stuff, it's like it's gone, which makes me sad because it was a monthly or semi-monthly thing, and I miss it.
Mhm.
But that's what I want to do with Fast and Furious. I want to have a monthly watch along where we pop open Coronas in the theater.
Oh yeah, no. Well, when I watch the second one, I'll make sure to have a Corona. So yeah, we went through Dom, we went through Jordana Brewster for some reason. We went through Michelle Rodriguez. Oh yeah, so back to Paul Walker from the get. I think okay, so yes, obviously his passing was super tragic. But when it happened, I was like, "What? Do you mean the background guy from Fast and Furious?" Like
Right.
as someone who wasn't like a huge fan of the franchise at that point, I was like, "So this is like Vin Diesel's movies. Paul Walker's in them."
I mean that's kind of because like if you only see these movies from the outside, you
And
assume
I've
with
only seen
Paul.
5 and 6 at that point.
Well, you assume he's kind of like the Simon Pegg to Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. Like that's what you assume going in, right? Or like the Jeremy Renner to Tom Cruise or something like that. But
He's like the
really,
buddy cop that like no one really cares. I'll have to like think of a good example, but like
I I honestly think he's as equal in these first few movies to, especially in the fourth one. Like it's an even 50-50 split between the two of them in the fourth
oh
one.
well, he's Ethan Hawke in this one. Like he's the main dude.
Exactly. He's even I would say Vin Diesel steals the show, but you do get probably more screen time with Paul.
Yeah, and I do, you know, and I feel bad. The reason I bring it up is because I feel bad because I really like him in this movie. Like for what he is doing. Like I mean, with everything that I say, just assume that I say for what it is, it's fantastic. I love the whole arc that he goes through. It's funny actually because we were watching the movie and like Lauren was kind of just sitting there doing her homework and like the movie's happening and I'm like I remember something about him being a cop. And that was just
Yeah,
me.
I was gonna ask you if you knew because by the time you said the first one you watched was the fifth one, by that point they referenced it a few times. But and again I know you haven't rewatched them, so I didn't even know if you knew that going in.
No, but I like had like some kind of I was like I remember something about him with cops, but then when he goes like they're like, have you ever boosted cars? And he's like, no, and he's like, but you have, and he's like, yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, so maybe I was wrong. And then that when that twist happened, when he's gets arrested and brought back to that super nice house, which by the way, I noticed this and I was like, I know exactly who that guy is right away. I was like, this is Michael Jordan's dad from Space Jam.
Oh yes, it is,
Like the
isn't it?
head to the captain of the police
Yeah,
department.
he's in Too Fast as well. So
Thank
uh,
God.
yeah, no, I. The fun thing is they're bringing back a lot of the OG cast members, and I want him. I don't know if he's. I hope he's alive. I don't know. But if he is, I would love to see him return in one of the future movies because for a side character, he's really good.
No, he was great because he's so mean to Paul Rudd, not Paul Rudd, Paul Walker or whatever.
I
Um,
Yeah, everyone, because that's what I like. Because like by the time you get to the fourth movie, we're spoilers. I mean, it's not a spoiler.
oh no, don't say it because I haven't seen the fourth
It's
one.
really not a spoiler. I promise. It's
Okay,
like,
then there you go. Well, you're my shaman into the this universe. So if you think I can
oh,
hear it, I can hear it.
well, you've seen this movie, and you know at the end of this movie, he's still a cop. So naturally, by the fourth movie, he is still a cop.
Oh
Uh,
my God, he's still a cop that far in.
that was all it was. But all I'm saying is like, so in this movie, he's very much the rookie of the team. Like this is his first big case or whatever. By the fourth movie, he is like he's a seasoned cop. He knows his way around the streets and everything. But this one, he's very
How? Because like the whole thing with this is like because I kind of expected him to choose their life over his, so him walking away was kind of like oh, but like I was talking to someone about it today and they were like oh yeah, so Vin Diesel's not in the second one, it's just Paul Walker with Ludacris and Tyrese Gibson, and then the third one is in Tokyo, I guess. So I don't know why a cop would be out there, and
he's
then
well,
what?
I just want to say it. Also,
Well,
you
that's fair because you would know that going into it. You would know that he's not in it,
right,
like from the marketing. I mean, I haven't seen any marketing,
right.
but that shocks me that he's still a cop by that point.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't think it would be I thought it would be. I genuinely didn't think it would be a shock to you.
No, you're fine. Plot, but
Right.
like, yeah, wow. I'm super interested to see how he like stays involved. Yeah, well, that's another thing because I really like how this ended. Like, it ended in such a place where I was like, you could let it go, like you could stop there, but like also there's some like open stuff for the future.
That's how I feel about honestly every Fast movie. Like I know, and I genuinely mean that. Because like all of them end with a family barbecue. Like they all. It's not like a no, like genuinely, dude. Like, 'cause I'm
Yeah.
okay, with the exception of like four. I won't go into that, even though you've seen five.
Well, like even when the barbecue happened in this one, I was like,
Wait, why? What's wrong with the
Because I
barbecue?
was just like, here's the barbecue scene,
Oh, yeah, it's like the Leo meme. Oh, they did it. Like,
It's kind of
um,
like the Quicksilver scene. It's like, oh, I know there's gonna be one.
yeah, no, it's no, totally. But I love it because it's always it's so sweet. Like they're when they do it again in like 4 or 5 or whichever one they bring it back with, it's like hell yeah, like the family's back. But but no, I love the barbecues because it's
Well,
like
because I believe it. That makes me believe it because these movies, like the joke is that they're about no one. You can't hear me do the air quotes. But the joke of this franchise is it's about family
right.
and like, but yeah, like in this one, the most even more than Furious 7, like sells it to me because I'm like, oh, I believe by the end of this movie that he's gonna drop his cop life to be with the gang, and like I love that because exactly that like the whole franchise is built on family, right?
Right.
And they sold me on it so much so that I was baffled when they weren't like, oh, we're best friends now. Let me go join your gang.
Well, I mean, that's the entire thing, right? Because like Vin's character is very much a guy who is like when he trusts somebody and he invites someone into the family, it means something to him. Like he even has like a whole thing where he explains like family is everything. If you don't have family, what do you like? What's it worth if you're not doing it for family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what like makes Brian's betrayal all the more hurtful for him because it's
Yes.
how could you? And the thing is, like people like scoff at like the whole like family dynamic in this movie, and yeah, it is funny. Don't get me wrong, it
Well,
is.
in the franchise in general.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like in the friend, like people laugh at it, and yeah, it's funny. Don't get me wrong, but it works. Like it genuinely works. Like I
Yeah.
believe it. By the time you get to like the eighth or ninth movie, I still believe it. Like I still believe that these guys would die for each other. Like I still believe that throughout all of it, they are there for each other. And I will say, one of the other running jokes about this franchise has been the fact that everyone has superpowers in them.
Yeah.
And I was under the impression that this one was absent of that, but I was wrong because in the scene where they're about spoilers, in case anyone hasn't seen it for some reason, where the Jesse kid dies from the drive-by,
That was sad.
it was sad. But Dom and Brian have like spider sense. They can sense the motorcycles coming like before they turn on the because they both go like in like slow motion. They like look over before they even turn the street.
They
Like,
just start crawling on all fours and like not even on their elbows. Like they're like an animal, like a
yeah,
wolf man.
yeah. So I think it's really funny that this movie has. It's like their genes are mutating like the mutants. Like it's the beginning of their superpowers because
Well, this one was more grounded. That's actually a really good point you bring up because this one felt like yes, I know that a lot of the action is kind of ridiculous and couldn't happen, but this one I'm like that is within the realm of that's not you driving a car out of a huge like tall building into another building.
well, I mean, I will say, like, one of my favorite stunts of the entire franchise, because it is all practical, is when they at
The
the very
end.
end, like with the train, when they're trying to outrun the train, and
Oh yeah, that's iconic.
yeah, it's practical too. Like they completely shot that with an actual train. Like it's amazing the way they did it, and yeah, I love it. And it's so thrilling, genuine. Like every time I watch that scene it gets me because just the way it's the same thing. I can't think of like another action movie scene, but it's like one where you know the outcome of it. Obviously, you've seen it a billion times, but it still hooks you every time it starts because it's so cool.
And then when they make it, but then he gets flipped over. That
Yeah.
was so. Oh man, that hurt. Well, that was the point where I was like, okay, so you're dead.
Yes. I. Literally like. But I like the throwback to earlier in the movie when he's like with the whole 10-second car thing, and that honestly that's a callback that happens throughout the entire franchise. Like
Mhm.
it's something that Vin Diesel's character gets some shit for throughout all 9 movies, which I love because that's another thing. Sometimes with franchises that have been going on as long as these have, you can kind of lose the continuity as it's
Mhm.
going along, but by the time you're in like Fast or Furious 7 they're still referencing the shit that happened in this movie. Like it
Yeah.
really does feel like it's all one story, which I can appreciate.
Well, they're never really like retconning anything. You
Yes.
know, like it's always just like they're just proud of everything that they've done.
For better or worse. Yeah, I think yeah, I mean that's the whole thing because it's like they're still because like for example, like if I had to direct a movie with an amnesia subplot, I would try to get far away from that as soon as we did it, you know? But no, they're still talking about it 3 films later. They're still embracing the fact that they like, yeah, we did this amnesia subplot. We're proud of it. Like it's fun. It's really funny to me. But I admire it. I genuinely do because
It does seem weird that like people hate this. You know, some like because there's some subculture of people who really despise these movies, and like I don't even like action, and I can still like I can enjoy this. Like just like you said with the Ebert thing, like it's a bad. I mean, it's a bad movie, like a B movie, but like it's a great B movie.
well, yeah, it's just like B movie. I think, yeah, no, I think it's the same thing when like you go on the Facebook pages or whatever for this movie, and like all like, and when they post a trailer, the comments are like, "Oh, you should have stopped at 7. It's getting ridiculous." I'm like, my guy, it's been ridiculous from the start. Like,
Yeah, who's really invested? It's like being invested in Star Wars, you know? Like who cares at
yeah,
this point?
what dumbasses, really? I I say as all that behind me and that. But anyway, but yeah, no, I think it's all like if you're not in on it at this point, like if you're not on the joke, then like
Then just don't watch it.
yeah, like just
Like why does it make you mad? It's not
yeah,
pretending to be
exactly.
good.
That's my entire thing. It's like if you don't like these movies, fine, cool, awesome. I don't want you to. I want it to be my thing, but
Yeah.
but if you do like them, salute me familia. But like, but if you don't like, just shut the fuck up. Like, don't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't give me shit for liking my dumb car movies. Like, are you kidding
Yeah.
me? He crashes his Dodge Charger into a Russian submarine in the eighth one. Like,
Well, because at
have you?
least okay, let's compare it to something like if someone wanted to compare it to Transformers, that's fair. But at least like the what you come for, the number one thing you come for is car racing action, right? And you get that, and it's good. It's always good. Like there every single movie has a really big set piece, and it's really awesome, and throughout it's great. Every single
Yes.
Transformers movie, I can't tell what's going on. That's the number one thing I go for is
Well,
the
yeah, that
watching the
was
robots fight.
well, that's my point. Because, like, in theory, people are like, "So why do you?" I actually have a friend that feels the opposite of me. Like, he hates these movies, but he loves the Transformers movies, which I will never understand.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I love I Ruben. If you're listening for some reason, I love you, but you are ridiculous because I mean, in theory, yes. Do I want to watch a franchise with giant robots beating the shit out of each other? Yes. Did I grow up on the first Transformers movie and love it and still kind of love it? Yes. But every subsequent sequel that's come out since has been obnoxiously edited to the point of where it's totally incomprehensible. And
Mhm.
that's a genuine disservice to like the people doing the stunts and the cool things on set. But like these movies, whatever you will say about the continuity or the practicality of it all, whatever, but like it's all shot really well. Like you can completely tell what's going on. There's never shaky cam.
Mhm. And
Like it's
I
all
think it's fair to say that if you're at, like as a franchise, if you're comparing it as a franchise to Transformers, then it must be really bad. I get that. That's fine. But like another thing I'm gonna because I say that because I'm gonna keep bringing up things. Another thing, this movie clocks in at about an hour 45.
yeah, great. Honestly, I forgot that until I rewatched it yesterday. I was like, oh my
That
god,
was
I forgot.
perfect.
Yeah, yeah, and honestly, I don't think any of them really. I mean, some of them are over 2 hours, but they don't go to like the 2.5 hour mark. Like they're if they're
2:15 tops.
yeah, like that was Hobbs and Shaw. Like Hobbs and Shaw, I think was the longest of the franchise so far. I could be wrong. Fact check me, send me hate mail if I'm wrong. But you know, like they never go to like because every Avengers movie is like 3 hours at this point, and
Yeah, but
that's
at least
fine.
those are light, you know. I don't know.
That's fine. I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying that's the norm in Hollywood now. Like every Zack Snyder movie is 8 hours long. Can't wait for the Snyder cut. But
God.
but these movies they know when to end, which is something you got to appreciate. Like they know when they've stayed their welcome. They're like, okay, time to go. Because a good family member knows when it's time to leave the house. You know, like if it's they know when it's time to leave the barbecue.
Yeah,
You
like
know,
I have a friend who like when we hang out, she'll just be like, "Okay, I'm kicking you out now," and I'm like, And it's always like at a really good time. It's like, okay, yeah, we've hung out for long enough, and like I feel like any longer would be. But yeah, no. Actually, this brings up a good point that I was gonna say earlier. So here's how I watched this today. I told you the only thing I told you before we started this is that I watched this in the perfect condition, right?
Right.
Which might help add to why I liked it so much. Because we were talking about Princess Monkey today, and I said that to my friend the other day just to bother him, and he was just like, "Fine, at least you're watching it." But like that movie, I watched it in parts, and I expressed how annoying that is to me.
Right.
But this one, today's my day off. Like I was gonna watch it last night, but it was late. I was like, no, I wanna enjoy this. Like tomorrow, I will dedicate my entire day off to watching this. So I woke up. I went around a bit, so it wasn't like straight out of sleeping. So like I wasn't gonna take a nap. I put it on, and usually like I have ADD or ADHD, whatever. It doesn't matter. I can't pay attention, which is great for being into movies. But like I watch it at home on my projector. I'm in my projector room right now, and I usually when I watch movies at home, I will hit the select button and check the time throughout.
I mean, I do the same thing actually, unless I'm like super invested. But I usually do the same thing.
Well, sometimes it's just to be like, oh, like I think I know what time it is. Like I've done that a lot before when I used to watch movies with my roommate. I'll be like, yeah, we're about at the 45-minute mark, and we'll look, and it's like 46:33, and I'm like,
Yeah.
But like this, yeah, I was like, it wasn't that the movie was so good that it totally engrossed me, and I couldn't. But like I just kind of made a point to myself to A, not pause it and go to the bathroom, and B, not check the time. Because when I was watching Judas and the Black Messiah the other day, which I want to talk to you about that later, it was the first time I saw a movie in theater since January 5th. And I was like, I forgot how much better it is to just watch something in a theater, because then you are forced to sit there and watch the whole thing. You can't check the time. You are just sitting there, and you get to sit through the whole thing. Because I think I'm not saying I'm going to enjoy Judas and the Black Messiah less the second time I watch it, but I just know the first time, like if I had to nitpick, I'd be like, yeah, maybe it was a little bit long and dragged in some places, but like watching it once in a theater all the way through made the experience so much better. And I tried to replicate that theater experience here with the projector and everything. I did have subtitles on because my speaker's not the best, and they had a lot of words that I was not familiar with.
I always watch with stuff. Like if I'm watching something at home, regardless if I've seen it one time or 80 times, I have to have subtitles on. I'm just that dude. But no, I agree. That's part of the reason why I think I told my friends this. I'm like, Fast 9. I don't care if I'm vaccinated or not vaccinated. That's a theater movie for me. Like I don't give a shit. Like that movie. Like I haven't missed one in theaters since Too Fast. Like that's one. I've only not seen the first two in theaters. I've seen every other one in theaters, and I'm not missing this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, I don't care if I'm vaccinated or not. Like, I will see the new one in theaters at some point, whenever it comes out.
When does it come out?
Apparently Memorial Day this year. We'll see.
Cool. That's cool. No, just like Fast Furious 6.
Yes, exactly. So hopefully, fingers crossed. But no, I get you. Like this movie is very. I mean, I honestly feel the same way you do when you watch movies at home, and it's kind of like, damn, like it's hard to pay attention because you're like there's stuff going around the house. Like it's not like because auditoriums are deliberately built to block out the sound around you. You are inherently focused on exactly what's in front of you, and it's easier to be engrossed and given the illusion that you're in a movie, right?
I can pause it. I can talk to someone. I can be eating an actual meal. I can check the time. I can go to the bathroom. I can go on my phone. Like there's so much distractions here. And luckily I was disciplined enough because I've been talking to you about this podcast for like months, right?
Right.
Like once you were the first person I called when I bought the collection, and I was like, I'm so excited to share this with you.
Well, the thing is, like, this is one of the. I mean, again, I was watching it tonight, and I've seen it a billion times. So, like, I know when you've seen a movie a billion times and you rewatch it, you know around what time the hour mark kicks in and stuff. But like, it still slaps so hard that like I never want to check time. Like, I don't care. Like, I was Actually, no. Last night was when I watched it. I was eating dinner and watching it at the same time, and like
Mm.
it was funny. Like right when I was feeling like I need to go do laundry, I need to go, walk my dog. It ends, and I'm like, thank you. Like great, awesome. Like
Thank you.
it knows when to end. Like I love that
No,
shit.
yeah, and it's to go back, going back to the we buy the connection and that makes the family thing and that makes the portrayal even better. That scene, I want to just shout out the scene when Vince is, I think it's Vince. Vince is dying, right? This is a person that Paul Walker does not like. They've been fighting the entire movie. Yes, you brought up that scene where they were fighting out. Okay, well, okay. Before I get to that, let's just break down that scene. So the movie starts out. Obviously, this isn't like the first scene, but one of the first scenes. So Paul Walker goes to this place, this little Toretto's cafe, and keeps getting the tuna just so that he could flirt with the girl. But that's just a cover because now we know that he's a cop later, which really worked for me.
Yeah, it's great.
Dom's just sitting in there, just like being like aloof as he is, and then Vince and the boys what.
As he is.
Well, and then Vince and the boys come in and they're just so obnoxious. And then Vince is just immediately mad that anyone's talking to this girl.
Yeah.
And then like, so then he starts to get in his face and then they go outside and then they fight. Dom breaks it up because his sister, which now I know it's his sister, is upset. And I think he says, what does he say? You know the exact quote, right?
I mean, there's a lot of good quotes in that scene, but I think the one you're referencing is
"You're embarrassing me."
Oh yeah, that's great. But my favorite one is, "Yo, he was in my face. Yo, no, I'm in your face."
Yeah, I almost knocked my fucking computer off because I went back. I rewatched that scene after it happened. I had to play it back.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Like, I like honestly one of my favorite lines is when Vin Diesel's like, he's like, or no, not Vin Diesel. When Vince is like, he said, I forgot what he's like. I realize no. Paul Walker says I like the tuna here, and Vince is like, bullshit.
No one likes the tuna here.
Here, you can go to Whataburger and get a combo pack for $5.99. I'm not going to say the F word that he says after that, but it's honestly.
Oh, you can curse. It's fine. No one watches
no, I don't want to say that.
Oh, yeah, don't say that then.
Yeah, no. But like that entire thing, he's like, not only does he insult him for liking tuna, but he gives him a suggestion of where to go and the value of the price and the food that he will get for his money. Like, I think that's so fucking funny. Like that is, I mean, Vince is just, the Twitter account Dudes Down Bad?
Yeah.
Vince is just the epitome of that in this movie. Like, he's so down bad in this movie. He's so down bad.
Well, rhetorical question. If I remember correctly, Vince is a white dude, angry at another white dude. So in my head, when you said that, I was like, what slurs could he possibly be saying? Unless it's like Oh, I think it's a homophobic one. Okay, that makes more sense. I thought you meant like a racial one, and I was like, why? Right. I know that happens, but why?
Yeah, no, I mean, again, like there's a lot of stuff in this movie that does not age, even just problematic wise. Like, there's a lot of shit that they say that's not, yeah, you wouldn't say it in 2020.
Actually, I'm really happy you bring up Vince and being a douchebag, because here's the thing. Here's the one thing I want to go into, and I know. Okay, before I go into that, my point earlier is. Sorry, I just love that scene so much. I'm in your face.
Amazing.
He's like he was. So I forgot what he says. I keep forgetting that whole scene, but it's definitely my favorite scene in the movie. But the most impactful scene that worked really well, besides the ending, was when Vince is dying and like Paul Walker calls and he's like, "Hey, I'm Officer Paul Walker, and you need to bring the hospital here." And whatever, and then you just see Tom look up at him and he's so pissed, but he's also like, I know, like it's funny because earlier in the movie he's like, I don't have $2,000, but here's my pink slip, you can take my fucking car, and he's like, but if I win, I want all of the cash and I want your respect. And that's like a cheesy line, but
it
like,
works.
it works.
Yeah,
it works better than anything else, because not only does he save him from the cops when he didn't have to whatsoever. I mean, I guess because, he has to, because does he have to? Because he's like doing the undercover thing?
kind of needs he doesn't have incriminating information exactly, because like I mean that's what he tells the one of the police guys tells him, because after they raid the one gang's mansion, uh, and they're like, you know, we didn't find anything. It's Toretto. It's always been Toretto. You need to get over your relationship with him and just get him. So you know he wants to believe that it's these other guys, but he knows deep down that it's Toretto. So I think he was trying. It's a mixture of he needs him, but he also does care about him and Mia. So
it works. It works so well. Like it's not Oscar worthy, whatever. Like it's not highbrow at all.
no.
But I feel for these characters. I know who they are. I know what's going on. The action's cool, and like, what's it called? So we brought up Vince. Vince is a douchebag, right?
Right.
And let's talk about the subcultures of fans of Fast and Furious, right? So I feel like there's people like you and now, well, and before, I would say, because I'm a fan. I watched all of them in a theater, like ever since Fast and Furious 6. So I'm a fan, but like I am also like I'm sure you like it in a serious way more than I do. But like I enjoy them, but I know it's crappy schlock. Like if someone calls them trash, I'm not gonna be like, you know.
Yeah, that's for me to do. I no, I think I have a friend. Shout out to Shaq. He's a great guy. But we did a podcast over on AOK. If he wants to check it out. But we did a retrospective for all 9 movies, and we talked about the entire franchise, the continuity.
Oh, you don't have to do this all again. We can just do the first one because I'm going through the whole series. If you want,
I want to. Yes, I want to.
And because you know I'll have opinions. I'll have like hard opinions about this. But
honestly, I am shocked you liked this one as much as you did. I didn't think you would dislike it, but I am shocked you liked it as much as you did.
No, I'm like obviously talking to you, a super fan, is making me like it more. I don't love it. I just think it's great for what it is. But yeah, so
I think it's great.
But here's the thing. So, we talked about we're like like we know it's trash. We recognize that it's garbage, but we like it and we're laughing with it and we're laughing, you know, at it kind of. Yeah. You know, we like the silly action. We like the, you know, the characters because they're whatever. We're along for the ride.
Right.
But then there's people who actually like these movies and just like actually think they're good. Right?
Yes. I mean, okay, honestly, I'm somewhere in between those two things. Yes, I get the irony of it, but there are legitimate points. No, stick with me here. Like there are there are points in this franchise where like they have a dramatic beat, and it's not me being like, oh, family, like, but like I like they go for the dramatic moment, and I genuinely feel it. Like,
well, it's shameless. They're shameless. They're just like, yeah, we're here.
Like,
we're us.
Like H. Macy. Yeah, I think it's a deep cut for anyone.
I like that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, but like for example, I mean, like even the Paul Walker stuff in 7 aside, but like. I'm trying to think. Like, honestly, like a lot of the stuff in 6 with like Han and Giselle, like it gets me in the heart.
Everything with Dom and Faye the Furious actually worked for me really well. Because like even when they revealed why he's doing what he's doing, I'm like, I get it.
Yeah, that's the great thing. Is like, yeah, you can make fun of it if you want to, sure, and yeah, the action's absurd, but I think genuinely the characters and the drama, while the mechanics of it are silly, I believe the emotion, which I would argue is more important.
I think that's fair. I think that's very fair, and I believe you, and I get it. I will harken back to the point I made earlier when I say that I love Cats ironically, you know, because it's awful in so many ways. But I'm at the point where I've seen it so many times, I've shown it to so many people, I've talked about it, I've listened to it, I've cared about it so much. I genuinely love it, and I like one day we'll do this. Like I'm gonna obviously do one of these about Cats one day, and. Like I will actually like try to genuinely defend it, and I do, and because I do think there are actual good quality, you know, aspects of the movie. And I know I lost everyone already, but like I feel like that's you with this.
Everyone turned it off. Yeah, no, I mean with Cats, I'm not gonna get into that, but With Fast and the Furious, Adam's like looked to this. He's like, "Damn." I,
Well, I'm checking something. That's why I looked at the same.
but no, with this, okay. Well, first of all, I genuinely 110% believe these movies are better films than Cats. I think to compare it to Cats is a disservice to the artistry that Vincent Diesel puts on.
Vincent Diesel puts on.
Because he's one of those dudes like just like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. Like he produces all these movies. Like he's not only just the actor. Like
God.
he's part of the writing process. He gets it funded. He cares about the fans. He's very interactive. Like okay, so like when Fast 9, its trailer was dropping last January, but pre-COVID. Like they had not only did they just drop the trailer, but they had a fucking concert, a free concert for the fans to go to in Miami with like
Pitbull there. Oh my god, I said it. I was like, Pitbull was there.
Pitbull was there. Charlie Puth was singing "See You Again" from Furious 7.
Yeah.
And all the cast members, Vin Diesel flew out all the cast members to come talk to people, and then at the end of the concert, they dropped the Fast 9 trailer. Like,
do you follow him on Facebook?
Yes,
Yeah, I believe it.
Yes, I follow him on everything. I would follow him to the end of the earth.
I've just seen the Drew Gooden video where he makes fun of his face. But you know Drew Gooden, the road work ahead.
Yeah, he's amazing. I love Drew. Good Twitter follow.
I saw him too. You saw that picture where he came to my tropical smoothie because he lives in Orlando.
Yes, I did. I forgot that he lived in Orlando, but I did see the pic, and I'm gonna try to hunt him down now. So this is a thread, Drew. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think, but no, I mean, I've seen all the Facebook memes, and it's certainly ridiculous. But he's such a lovable guy. When I did the podcast on Zillennial Canon, we did just like this, the first movie. This is the third podcast I've been on where we talked exclusively this first movie. I think that's really funny.
Is there any first from this one? Like, am I the first to have any kind of take? Like hard take, like not like.
I can honestly say you're the first one to compare it to Cats. I can say that.
That's true. That's true. I compare every movie to Cats on here. You should see the Spirited Away review. It's all about cats.
Oh my god, I honestly could see more comparisons to Spirited Away than I can to Fast and Furious. But what I was gonna say was Kira, my co-host on Little Canon, she brought up a point that I didn't. I guess like as a straight white male, I can't exactly give the same perspective. Is like she finds Vin Diesel like, yeah, he's intimidating, he's an action star, but she's like, he's also very a comforting presence. Like
really, I wouldn't fuck him.
Well, no, I don't think she said that per se, but she said it's like the same thing with like Keanu Reeves, where it's like you see the sadness in his eyes, and you like
a puppy. He's like a pit bull.
Well, that's what she kind of said. She was like, you see the humanity in him, and therefore you like following him throughout the violence, and it's okay. Which
I think that's fair.
I mean, as a straight guy, like I never would have had that perspective, but when she said it, I'm like, that makes sense, because like there's also like a whole subculture of like moms who watch these movies because their sons grew up on it, and like my mom, and like what do you call it? Like they'll be like, yeah, I love Vin Diesel, like, and I'm like, really, Vin Diesel? But when Kira said that, I'm like, I get it now. I think I understand it. Like he's a comforting but also masculine presence. He's somehow both.
Like, okay, so it's funny when you said that. My first thought was, so I'm gonna call my mom tomorrow and ask her if because she watches movies all the time. I mean, she sleeps in them, but I'm gonna ask her if she's seen this because she probably has, and I'm gonna ask her opinion. And the first thing I thought of was when a week ago I called my mom because I was recently on a Billy Joel kick, and I've been listening to all his greatest hits. And I'm like, hey, mom, who grew up in that era, what's your favorite Billy Joel song? And she's like, I don't know, like I like him and all, but I don't know. And I'm like,
wait, what's your favorite Billy Joel song?
This is a whole different podcast. I got into Billy Joel again, like a deep cut. Like I had the hits before, but now I'm like really into him because of Zanzibar.
Okay. Yeah, I was.
You know that one?
Yes, I have. I haven't listened to Billy Joel in a minute, but I remember when the movie Trainwreck came out. Have you seen the
movie? Oh yes, with Amy Schumer.
Yeah, and it ends with that
was a joke. I know it's Schumer. I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't. I didn't.
I was like, someone out there's like Schumer.
Yeah, I didn't know, so I just didn't want to say it. But it ends with Uptown Girl, and for some reason, when I saw that in theaters, I was like, I need to get back into Billy Joel, and I did. I did for like a year.
By the way, what I was looking up earlier was the Rotten Tomatoes score, and I'm gonna say this: I love when movies are in the 50s and the 60s because that means like it was divisive. Like this has a 53, and I love that.
Isn't that like around what Wonder Woman 1984 has? I
My girlfriend, by the way, she was watching me on my phone, because she's clean. No, I'm kidding. And she was like, she saw I was texting you, and she's like, "Why is it Wonder Woman 88?" And I was like, "Oh, he's just a really big fan. He like requested that I made it that."
Yeah, the same thing when someone asked me about why are you Luke Skywalker on my phone, but specifically from The Mandalorian,
That's
and
just what
I
I
was
look like. That's why I got the haircut.
he's just a big Mandalorian fan, and especially he stands by saying that season 2 episode 8 is his favorite episode of television of all
Is
time.
it episode 8? Is there only 8 episodes?
Yeah, there's 16 total, but season 2 episode 8.
I guess I just don't care about it enough, to remember.
I remember you telling me this is the peak of television.
Well, here's the thing though, because sorry, I was about to divert to back what we were talking about. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, really nothing.
Okay. Yeah, because I was gonna say like I was talking about douche, like people who actually really like this are like, yes, this is my kind of, because what's it called? Like the toxic masculinity is insane, and I can watch this and be like, that's funny because they're like, like you, whoa, were you disrespected? I just see a bunch of guys fronting, and like, I can laugh at that, and I can enjoy it, and I can see through it, and like, but I know that there's people out there who are actually like thinks these are legitimately like great and like serious all the way through movies.
I'll have a counterpoint to that actually. I think maybe in the first one that's prevalent, but I would argue that it's only really happening when Dom, because like Dom doesn't let people in his family unless he completely trusts them, and that's his like safeguard. He has to put on the masculine,
Well, no, I'm
tough
not
guy.
talking about him. I'm talking about like Vince and like what's it? Well, just like you said, like they use the homophobic slur, and that the kind of person, the kind of toxic masculine person who would, genuinely use a homophobic slur, is the type of person I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, no, and that's totally fair. And like the thing is, though, I think the further you get along in the franchise, I would say like these movies have a more, and you're gonna laugh a little bit, but stick with me. They have a more realistic view of male, like the love that through male friendship that I would think any other franchise in cinema does. Because look,
Fair.
because like there's a scene in Fast Five, which I think is aside from Vin Diesel's line reading of "I never knew my father," I think I think there's a scene in Fast Five where he's talking to Paul Walker, and this is like right after Paul Walker's character finds out he's gonna be a dad, and they're having a heart to heart about like how they like Vin Diesel doesn't really remember his dad, and then Paul Walker's dad is dead, and it's like they're having a heart to heart about how they don't have dads and they just want to be good men to their kids, and I'm like, this is amazing, like this is great shit, like, and yeah, I think the franchise, I mean, it definitely starts off that way, but I think the further we go down the road, no pun intended, it diverts from toxic masculinity, and I appreciate that.
No, I think that's fair. Actually, I'm gonna make a claim, a bold claim, and this almost certainly will be first for you for hearing this because it is kind of a stretch of connecting the two. I buy with the limited amount of movies that I've seen between in the Fast and Furious series, which like I know Fast 2 doesn't really have Dom in it. I think the third, I don't know anything about the third one, and I haven't seen the fourth one, but every other one I've seen. I would make the claim that I buy the friendship between Dom and Paul Walker. Brian, I'm sorry, I know his name. It's Paul Walker.
I say like I know the character's names too, and I still say like Paul Walker, so it's completely fine.
I buy their friendship more than, and like I know the other relationship I'm about to talk is not entirely a friendship the whole way through, but I buy their friendship more than Tony Stark and Steve Rogers.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, you kind of already you already brought up the hole I was going to poke in that, because they don't really fully have a friend. Like they are always at odds. Like they, like, cause like the thing is, like by the time you get to like Fast Five, Dom and Brian are like legitimate brothers by that point. And you've seen, so you know that. But like, there's never really a point, because like there's a point in the MCU, I'd say maybe Age of Ultron, where they have like mutual understanding and they work together well. But there's never a point where they're full on like, let's go get drinks together. Like, you know, like that's not, I don't think that's, and even the comics, that's not Tony and Cap's relationship. So I get what you're saying, but I think by design it's not supposed to be that way.
Yeah, that's my bold claim. I'm trying to think of like what I'm saying, like, because like I don't want to compare it to any other buddy cop thing. Actually, you know what? I will. I'll do a deep cut for you. Remember the gorgeously amazing movie which didn't get nominated for anything, which is actually really weird because you would think it would be like a Knives Out, like tell me it's not a companion piece with Knives Out, and would like get nominated for best original screenplay. But The Nice Guys.
The Nice Guy is a great movie.
Yeah, Vin Diesel's Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe is Paul Walker. Yes. In this franchise, in the whole, like in this movie, it's different, but in the entire franchise, like Russell Crowe's there. But yeah. I'm here. I bought my ticket for Ryan Gosling. I like you, Russell Crowe. I'm actually one of the people that likes Russell Crowe in Les Mis, ironically and unironically.
I remember seeing Les Mis in theaters, and I was like, that's not bad. And then like everyone on the way out was like, oh my god, Russell Crowe fucking sucked. And I was like, oh, I thought he was good. Like I mean, but then again, I have not seen that movie since I was like 15, and I kind of refuse to watch it again just because I'm afraid, because I have such good memories with it. I don't want to ruin it.
I just thought of a thing, because I know I get sidetracked so much and I go on these things. I almost want to make it a rule for myself that if I bring up another movie during a podcast about another movie, I have to immediately just say which one I think is better and then move on. Like, so now I have to compare Les Mis and Fast and Furious. I don't know how to do that.
So I need you to rank all three of them.
All right, Nice Guys, Fast and Furious, Les Mis.
Really?
I mean, okay, there's more holes in Les Mis, and I'd rather watch the Fast and Furious. And I had a better time. Like, I wasn't the miserable when I watched this.
It's funny because when I went to go buy a ticket to see Les Mis, I remember saying that. I was like, Les Miserables, and she was. And I remember the girl at the ticket booth or whatever it's called, box office. She was like, "Do you mean Les Miserables?" I'm like, "Yeah, that." Like,
like no, The Miserables.
No, it's playing at 2:30. But yeah, no, I think actually, weirdly enough, I have the same ranking. Because. You would probably like think, oh, he's the Fast and Furious dude.
The Nice Guys is a legitimately great movie in every way, shape, and form.
The thing is, if we were ranking other entries of the Fast Saga, I might actually, like, for example, I kind of honestly like Fast 5 more than the Nice Guys. But
I'm a Shane Black whore, so it's fine. I'm biased.
No, listen, the Nice Guys is a great movie. But Fast 5...
Is Fast 5 a Christmas movie?
No, and it's all the better for it.
Are any of these Christmas movies?
No, but now I want to see one. I think.
Okay, that's a great question. So you have to watch one of these movies on Christmas, like around Christmas, like you're doing a marathon of like The Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey one, and Love Actually, and you have to pick one of the Fast and Furious movies to watch in the middle. Which one are you doing?
I think the clear answer that any fast head would come up with is The Fate of the Furious, because it ends with them going to I think Antarctica.
Yeah, then the ice. Yeah.
I mean, just naturally snow. You gotta play the one with snow in it. But I actually, you know what, Universal, if you're listening, I fund me a budget to make a Christmas themed Fast movie, and I'll do it for you guys. You don't have to ask me twice. I'll do it.
Well, like, I don't know. So people really like this movie. Like,
actually, you know what? Let me make Hobbs and Shaw 2 set around Christmas, and I fucking promise you guys,
I fucking promise.
I will get a Best Picture nomination if you guys let me. I will do it.
Well, but like I was saying before, like people really like this. Like there's certain movies that like I haven't seen, and people are like, "You haven't seen this movie? Do you even like movies?" And I get that with Fast and Furious, and I'm like, "No, I've played the game. It's fine." And I mean the arcade game that we have staring at us at work every day.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, when that shot came up, I was like, like I get it.
Yeah, no, it's oh yeah, I forgot about that because like his the two of them in the sunglasses are just like glaring at us all day every day. Love it. Yeah, no, I think that's a great shot. That's also that scene's great when they're out racing the douchey guy in the Ferrari. Just amazing sequence. Um yeah, I don't know. This movie is so aggressively 2001, and I love it for that. I really
No,
love
and you
it.
say it doesn't age well, and like homophobic slurs, I get it. Like I mean, they're not painting Vince as a redeemable character. Like if someone in a movie today, was gonna use a homophobic slur, I would hope it's not the hero, But like I'm pretty sure I can identify that a person is not a good character based on them using homophobic slur. But
Right.
back in this time, like this is kind of like the like I always unofficially refer to it as the Xbox generation. And like it's wrong. It's entirely wrong. But when I watch this, I'm like, yeah, that was then.
No, I mean it's just something you need to take into consideration when you're watching these movies because like
Yeah.
I mean, hey, look, I have friends that are gay that also love these movies and like they
That's another
understand.
subculture, actually. They
That's,
feel really
yeah,
comforted by Vin Diesel.
they also feel very, yeah. But the thing is, like, we've actually talked about it before, and we were like, yeah, it's problematic, but like, everything's problematic. There's a
But
meme.
no one's a fan of these movies because they're like, oh, I love Vince.
Well, I mean, okay, no, yeah, I mean, yes, you're right, but I think Vince redeems himself in one of the later movies. I won't reveal which one, but
Well, even
uh,
at the end of this one, like they're trying to save him. That's what's at stake. But like I'm not really worried about him. I'm worried about Paul Walker saving him, even though I know Paul Walker hates him and he's doing it because he cares about everyone else in the crew so much. And it really works for me.
I also believe that like even though they have their differences, Paul Walker is or I gotta break myself into saying it. Brian doesn't want Vince to die. Like he doesn't like him, but he's like, I can't like let him
He's a
die.
good dude.
Yeah, like he's fine. He's not like awful, even though he says stupid shit. Like, so he that's the thing. That's another thing. Like I think that also like okay, so Dom is a character who he doesn't forget things that you do positively or negatively. He will
Mhm.
remember your gestures regardless of like what your motives are. If you did something for him, he will pay it back. Like he remember like for example like in the end of 8 when Jason Statham saves his son from the airplane, even though he killed Han, maybe um, I mean, Han's in Fast 9, so that's who knows. But he invites him to the barbecue. He's like, "You save my son, you can have a seat at the table." Like, he's just that guy. He's like
He's the Godfather.
he really is. Okay, another thing. Dom could play Corleone, but Marlon Brando could not play Dominic Toretto. I
That's even more true than the first one.
it's actually like objectively true. I think.
So, all right. So, since this is the beginning of the journey, my first time, I'm gonna say this from the get, and we can follow this, and I'll update this throughout. So, before we watch this today, I would say number one was Furious 7. Number 2 was Fast 5. Number 3 is Fate of the Furious. Number 4 is Fast and Furious 6. And then number 5 is Hobbs and Shaw. And that's no knock to Hobbs and Shaw. That's just because I prefer Fast and Furious movies to those.
Right. No, I completely get that. I mean,
Mhm.
hold on, I'm trying to bring up my letterbox list, but um, actually, let me just go off the top of my head. I think my first favorite is Fast Five. I found it. Okay, my second favorite is Furious 7. My number 3 is Fast 6. 4 is Hobbs and Shaw. 5 is this one, The Fast and the Furious. 6 is The Fate of the Furious. 7 is Tokyo Drift, which I might have to bump up a little bit because I love that movie. 8 is Fast and Furious 2009, and then at 9th place firmly is Too Fast, Too Furious.
You didn't have to say 2009. I knew it was that one because you didn't say the.
I had to do it for the audience, for them. Or just
See, because they don't know. They're not fast heads like us.
To piss off Scorsese a little bit for the content listeners. Did you see that entire thing on Twitter today about?
Yes, and I agree, but I also hate him and myself.
I completely agree with you. But no, I think. But even though I mean, we'll get into Too Fast whenever we get into it. But Too Fast, I think even more than this one, not a good movie, but it's still part of the family. Like I still love it.
Well, here's the thing. So that I mean, that's basically my list now, right? But I have to add the first one in there, right? And as of right now, I believe after I rewatch it, I'm sure that I'll have the other ones higher up. I'm sure this is just a reactionary. I watched this today and I enjoyed it, and it was a big deal because we did the pod. But as of this very moment, the Fast and Furious, the original, is my favorite Fast and Furious movie. It is. If someone says, "Hey, you need to watch one of these," yes, this is on there. The most influential, if there's a list of like top 100 or top 50 even most influential movies of the decade, or not this, let's say the century, which is just 21 years. The Fast and Furious is on there. I think it should be seen by everybody. I think it's a fun time. If you hate it, I think you're wrong in a way. And it's dumb. Know what you're getting into, but like it works. It just works. It's funny, ironically and unironically. The action's really cool. I like when they use the. Oh, I don't even want to talk about the Nas. I was talking with Lauren the entire time. I was like, so to blow up a car, you need to riddle it with bullets so that it lights on fire some reason, and then the Nas will explode.
I think other than "I'm in your face," my other favorite line reading in this movie is when Paul Walker's character is in the break room at the place where he gets fired from, and he's like, "I need it. I need more of it. Need what? I need more Nas." Like
It's a whole meme. I subscribe to the Nas.
I genuinely think the last Fast and Furious movie will be about the villain trying to obtain all 6 canisters of Nas, like the Infinity Nas's, I think.
Well, he's just all roided up like Bane, and it's just Nas. Like he just injects himself with Nas.
Wait, I got something for you. Oh, you think Nas is your ally?
No, because it's so stupid. They just press the button and then they just go fast. But I do like how it like stretches, like what the view in front of them out the dash like stretches as if they're going fast. Like because they talk about it in the bonus materials, which I'm trying to get more into because I hate that I have all these DVDs and I never look into those. Right.
Yeah, because when I have, even though I have it digitally, you can still watch the bonus features digitally. And I was going to tonight, but I just kind of got distracted by time and stuff. And but I need to because it's weird that I haven't, being the fast head that I am.
I'm doing this so I can become a fast head. When we're done, I'm gonna rename my Twitter account, which has been for over a year. Adam Loved Cats is going to be This Fast Head Loves Cats.
I think at the end of this journey, I'll have to like what it's called, like when you do this on like their shoulders, like uniting them or whatever. Like
yes.
I gotta do that like but with a beer, like a Corona. Like I just gotta like plop it on your shoulders and be like, you're now officially a fast head. And
well, at the end of this, we'll watch Cats 9 times, and
who's we?
I don't know. One for each life, Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna have a barbecue after we're done with all night. Like we'll after we're vaccinated, of course, but we'll have Brandon over and Lauren and all that good stuff, and we can, and maybe Vin Diesel will pop by, and Did you know Vin Diesel's real name is Mark Sinclair?
I've heard that name before.
Yeah, that's his name in like outside of acting.
I believe it because no one would ever be named Vin Diesel.
Wait, I actually have a question for you. What is your favorite non-fast Vin Diesel movie?
Unfair. Because my first answer would be The Iron Giant, because I rewatched that
Oh,
today and it's gorgeous. And he does legitimately amazing. And then my second unfair answer, which might be my first, is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And then my third unfair answer, it's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, and then Infinity War. Okay, so we're taking out all of his voice work, obviously.
yeah, just movies he's physically in.
Shoot. So I haven't watched Pitch Black yet. I watched Bloodshot. Oh no, is it going to be Bloodshot?
Bloodshot's like
It's good.
No, it is not.
Well, if this is good, then Bloodshot's good.
No, it's not. I saw Bloodshot. That was one of the last movies I saw in theaters.
It caused the pandemic.
Yeah, blood. That's how you get the. I don't want to say it. That was a bad joke. I gotta it. I'm not.
We're not that far removed from it yet. We just now are at the point where we can make Lincoln jokes.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not. But you guys can see the pieces. You guys can put the puzzle.
Well, we talked about Corona for 10 minutes and we didn't bring it up. So there you go.
Exactly. I cannot wait for Fast 9 to like start with them opening Corona and just like unironically being like, oh, I love Corona.
This is making me sick.
But I will say, I know everyone's answer is probably gonna be like Saving Private Ryan. Like
I don't think that counts because he's not in a leading role. I was gonna bring that up.
Then I have and you might think this is a joke, but I wholeheartedly believe this is his best non-Fast like leading role.
Triple X.
No, although I love that.
I haven't seen it.
The sequel is even better, and not the Ice Cube sequel, the threequel. But anyways, the Pacifier is the best.
I'm so mad right now because that's my answer now. And I'm so mad that I didn't get that. That is one of my favorite childhood movies of all time. The Peter Panda dance alone deserves an award.
I swear that's the Peter Panda. That's the Peter Panda dance.
I just love him diving into a ball pit to retrieve a dirty diaper.
And the Pacifier. Like I honestly that movie is so fucking good.
The last thing I'll say about that movie before we move on from it is if I told you that there's a Disney movie starring Vin Diesel that has him fight where there's Nazis and ninjas in it, you would lose your mind.
And it opens with an intense CIA raid on a boat, and it's absolutely it's asinine, that movie. It's absolutely a fever dream. There's a duck. A little girl tells Vin Diesel he has big boobs. That movie's a trip. And Brad Garrett's in it.
Yep.
So yeah, just a great movie all around. Unironically too, it's really good.
It's better than Fast and Furious.
I wouldn't go. Just watch yourself.
Let's hold out. Let's hold out.
Yeah, you gotta slow down if you want to enjoy the little things. But yeah, no, I think. But I think I'm really glad that you enjoyed this as much as you did. I'm kind of shocked that you did.
Well, I almost had 2 hours worth of content about it. Yeah, geez.
I would hope you did.
What's it called? Do you want to go to final thoughts, or do you have more, or any questions or anything?
We can go to final thoughts. I think this one is. I mean, I've already said my piece. I think this one is just. It's VOG. It started it all. You have to respect it. And it's great. Like, I mean, for the context of what it is, it's one of the best like early 2000s action movies. Like it holds up completely. The fact that it's still going blows my mind. It makes me so happy. I wholeheartedly believe Fast 9 will save cinema more than Tenet did. Because
Wonder Woman.
Well, that didn't do shit because it was bad, and Wonder Woman doesn't know the importance of family.
This does not reflect the views of Hard Reviews, by the way.
Yeah, this does reflect the views of AOK, Aggressively OK podcast. But yeah, no, I think whenever Fast 9 comes out, it'll change my life and it'll make me believe in the power of movies again. Like this once did when I was a wee boy at the age of 7. So
I didn't know movies before this, like now I could officially start my journey into film.
Yeah.
It's funny that I brought up Judas and the Black Messiah the other day. I'm sure I'm not the first person to say what I said about Judas and the Black Messiah. In that my letterbox, I try to keep my letterbox reviews just one sentence,
Right.
and because I really want to get on that Leberdox account where they just
So that's your end game.
yeah,
Be
that's
on
my
that.
goal. But I said it was like The Departed meets Selma, because there's a lot of like speeches about racial justice, and that's like the best part of the movie, and it's fantastic. And I can't wait to talk to you about it. You know how excited I was for that.
Great movie.
But it's also like The Departed because it's like kind of a thriller about rats, and like I get Departed vibes from this. I think it's the franchise version of Training Day. I mean, before it was even a franchise. I think the budget is one of the best things about this movie, because just hearing about like the behind the scenes, and they're like, oh, we actually got like actual people out here and they were volunteering their cars and their time, and like people care so much about this, and they talked about the subculture of like racing and cars and everything. And even as someone who doesn't care about it, like I'm one of those people that says, yeah, I liked Ford v Ferrari and I don't even like cars.
Yeah.
And like as someone who has that opinion, to admire just the passion for, like, there's a clear passion in this movie for the subject matter. I didn't even bring up how this is based on an article called Racer X. I'm a huge Speed Racer fan, so
Yeah. Wait, the series or the movie?
the movie specific. Oh well, the series in general. I think
Yeah,
the Mach 5 is one of the coolest cars in all of popular culture.
It's popular culture. Yeah, I think Speed Racer, the Wachowskis' Speed Racer specifically is a movie that I grew up with as a kid, and I'm actually proud to say it holds up. It actually does.
It does, yeah. But like, yeah, the passion clearly shows. I think Vin Diesel, this is his. I think this is his Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark role, and I
It's
mean
gonna
that.
end with Dominic Toretto had knots. You know, it's, and I really want the end credits of Fast 11 to be like the same in game style, like level, like signatures and the
Oh
emotional.
yeah, please do.
Honestly, if I will cry, like that's the thing. Like I will cry in the theater if that happens. Like
Like the "We Live in a Society" line from the Justice League trailer. Sorry, Zack Snyder's The Justice League. Like, you know, they're very self-aware and saying like, you know, that I really want in the last movie for like the big bad guy to be like about to win or some reason, and Vin Diesel just goes wait, and they're all like look at him, and he just goes and and like nothing happens, or something does happen, and that's how they win. But I just wanted to end in some big stupid snap.
I
And
want him. I honestly, I don't see it in any other way than like he's like out and like I honestly just pitch you what I imagine the finale of Fast and Furious, like the franchise being.
oh
Like
yeah,
I imagine him being like in game slash Return of the King, but they're all in cars and like they're jousting each other with cars. And I imagine it's his Dodge Charger going up against an army of like tanks and trucks,
mm-hmm.
and they all have like intercoms and they're talking to each other over the radio, and it's like Toretto, you came alone, and he's like, nah, I didn't come alone. He's like, I always got my family. And then in the sunset, all these fucking, and it's every character you've ever met in any of these movies. You got fucking
Hector's there like 10 times.
So Hector has him and his whole squad. You got the whole FBI ready to go. You got Hobbs and Shaw and like Letty, Mia. You got CGI Paul Walker. You got the whole gang. You got Luda. You got Tyree. Like everyone, and it's literally like a 20-minute sequence of like flashing back to every actor in the franchise, and
Oh
it's just them
man.
jousting each other in the cars, and like, and it ends with them launching the bad guy to the moon, like strapping a rocket to his car. So what I'm saying is, Universal, let me make this movie. Let me close up the franchise in the only way I know how.
Have you been on the ride?
Unfortunately, yes, I have. It's
I
really
heard
bad.
it's bad. Yeah, I heard it's
Really
awful.
bad. Although I'll say the wait queue for it is amazing because you get to go into Dom's garage, and you get to like take pictures next to the cars that they actually use in the movies.
And there's a statue of him, a wax statue.
Is there?
Yeah, like a Vin Diesel. It's a thing. I've seen that.
I went when I first opened. I've tried to repress the memory of it because it's not good. But
Well,
and you know it has to be bad if I am not saying it's good. Like you know it has to be that.
No, that's fair. Like I didn't even fall in love with Galaxy's Edge, but that's like obviously. I can definitely see how someone could watch love this movie from the
Yeah.
get and then be like, wow, I really hate how ridiculous they got because this is really grounded. It's really good. Like for what it is, it's fun, it's funny, the action's great, it's stylized. You brought up the music earlier. We really didn't get to go into that. But I think it's great for the tone. I hate it all. I hate it all, like as music. But even Ja Rule's Fast and Furious song at the end.
Yes. Oh my God, you have no idea. They even have the thing is they have like a theme song for the first three movies. There's one for Too Fast, Too Furious, and then there's one where it's there's a specific Tokyo Drift theme song that I legitimately have as like my ringtone on my phone.
No, I
Um,
love that. I wish they kept going. Like, I mean, Charlie Puth does
I
have
ge-
one.
I genuinely believe every movie should have a theme song, but like a
Yeah.
cheap one, yeah, where they name drop. Like, say what you will about Tenet, but the fact that Travis Scott made a theme song, it's like, he hit something like something something Tenet. Then I did the Whippets, bars, music.
No,
That
I can confidently say that the Fast and the Furious, the original, is better than Tenet.
you're putting me at a real dilemma here, Donato. I don't know what to tell. I mean, because I stand both, so I don't know what to say. All I'll say is they're both cinema. They both represent what I love about cinema. Yeah.
But yeah, just to wrap up, I'm also surprised how much I really enjoy this. I'm actually really excited going forward to see where they apparently Paul Walker's still a cop. I did the after credit scene when he goes to Mexico. I thought he was just going to be
Yeah.
on the beach with Michelle Rodriguez, but he's
I
kind of driving around, I guess.
There's a I'll send it to you off pod because I can't remember the name of it, but there's a short film that takes place between this and Too Fast where you see the follow up of what happens in the post credit scene. So I'll
Hmm.
send that to you. I can't remember the exact name of it, otherwise I'll just tell you what it's called.
That's okay.
But if for anyone watching or listening, research that, watch it. It's great. You get to have like a little centerpiece between one and two. It's really nice.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No, it's really great. I'm really excited going forward. I don't think I'll like them as much as this one. But I don't know, just because I really like this.
I think when you rewatch at least five, you'll maybe because I honestly think five has the best of all of them. It's like it has the ridiculousness of everything that you want in the future movies, but it has the family dynamics and the drama and the
Hmm.
stakes of this one, and that's why I think five is the best. But
Actually,
uh,
the last thing I'll do, I'm gonna predict what happens in the second one from just knowledge
I would
that I
love
have
that.
of the franchise.
Please.
So that's Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah,
Okay, I don't know, just based off the title, that's a ridiculous title. I'm just gonna go with what happened at the end of this. So there's no way that Dom's the main bad guy. I feel like Dom teams up, like he works with the cops, and this gets him off of his thing. I don't think Dom is in the second one though. I think him and Jordana Brewster just keep having their relationship, her and Paul Walker. Um, oh wow, I love how much, and actually that's kind of makes me more excited about it because after I watched The Force Awakens, which is a worse movie than The Fast and the Furious, I was not excited for The Last Jedi, which is a better movie than the the Fast and the Furious, because I was like, oh, so I bet in the next one Ray's gonna get trained by Luke and Kylo Ren's gonna get trained by Snoke and blah 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 blah, and the good guys are gonna lose at the end and whatever. Like I hated that I knew what was gonna happen in that one. I loved at the end of The Last Jedi, a better movie than The Fast and Furious, that I was like, I have no idea where they're going for the sequel.
I want you to review every movie for like the next 10 to 15 years with that, like better or worse than the Fast and Furious. That's what I just want.
Well, and then the big disappointment is they just never made a sequel to The Last Jedi, but
It never
whatever.
happened. Never happened.
And then, but yeah, with this, I'm so excited to see where they're gonna go. I'm sure they're gonna disappoint me, but I'm sure it's gonna be good. I'm expecting the next two specifically to be great meme movies and great action movies. I don't expect the plot to be anything because I'm here for Vin Diesel, and it doesn't seem like he's a big part of these next two.
I will save my thoughts for the subsequent episodes, but I'm also excited to get into them. I'm excited to see what you think of them. I think I know how you'll feel about two. The one that I'm really anxious for you to check out is three because I'm like,
Mhm.
If he loves as much as I do, then we're on like we're set. Like we're good.
Homies.
Yeah, no, like we're no, like even just like for this franchise, it's like if he loves Tokyo Drift as much as I do, there's no chance he doesn't also love every rewatch of the next like 5 movies. Like he's gonna watch them all and love them all.
Oh, we'll get to him. Yeah, we'll plan that. I'll talk to you about it after this. But yeah, no, thank you for coming on. Do you want to plug anything?
No, yeah, I'm just kidding. I think
No.
no, you can follow me on Twitter, Adam_not Sandler. I tweet some things sometimes, so that's cool. And you can follow my podcast, The Zillennial Canon, on Spotify and Apple, and my other podcast, The Aggressively OK podcast, on Spotify and Apple, and like wherever else you pod. And yeah, I think that's everywhere you can find me.
Yes. Again, thank you for coming on. I'm so happy I like this movie. This would have been so awkward if I was just. I mean, it would have been fun in a different way if I was just shitting on it the entire time.
It's gonna be movie fights.
Well, like I don't know. I'm very much so. I either loved it or I hate it, and this is like, and I'm happy because with Spirited Away, I didn't like it as much as Devin, and I'm happy that didn't turn into me talking about why it's not great and him talking about why it's great. This was just us both being like, "Isn't it awesome?"
Yeah, and I like that's the comparison. Like, yeah, I didn't really love Spirited Away, but I love the Fast and the Furious. Like, I love
Actually, honestly,
don't say it. I know what
Spirited
you're gonna
Away is a better movie. There's more things I like about it.
Right.
It's definitely more of a credible movie in my eyes. Which one did I enjoy watching more? Spirited Away, and that's a compliment.
Because
I really liked Fast and Furious.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Fast and Furious, and that's why I was like, okay, well that's fine. I mean, I'm not gonna talk shit, Donato. I'm not gonna be like.
I can actually confidently say that Spirited Away is art. I can only ironically say that this is art.
That's weird because I can unironically say that it's art. I think. I mean, did you see those CGI racing scenes?
I want to play the video game with you now. Like next time we go to the Regal, we will play together. We'll switch off.
That's the first thing I wanted. I don't even want to like the first thing I do when I go to Regal again when they reopen. I don't care about the movies. I want to play the Fast and Furious game.
And well, you never played Mario Kart with drinking, so like you have to finish the drink before then. So we'll bring a Corona and we'll tag team it.
We can go to the bar before the movie and just like bring it over and like.
We'll do a private screening. We'll bring the Ultimate Ride collection. Just say,
oh my God.
Pick one at random. Okay, but yes. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you did, this is about 2 hours. Oh my God, it's longer than the movie.
We love when that happens.
Oh yes. Yeah, have a fantastic night, everybody, and salute me familia, and make sure to take it slow. Be happy. You know, don't be so fast and furious.
Live your life a quarter mile at a time.
Oh, I will say that I did really like that whole bit. The whole like live my life a quarter mile at a time. That's his whole bit. I fucking love it. It's fantastic.
Yes.
And that's all. Thank you.